So you know a little bit more about Yellen, but how much does the general public know about her? Apparently not much. A recent study shows that more than a third of Americans don't even know who she is. Rachelle Akuffo gives us an inside look at the woman who will be leading the Federal Reserve.
Janeth Louise Yellen was born in 1940s New York. 67 years later, the Brooklyn native could have one of the biggest influences on Wall Street and the global economy as President Obama's nominee to lead the Federal Reserve.
She is a proven leader, and she's tough, not just because she's from Brooklyn.
Yellen would be the first woman to ever hold the post and the first Democrat in nearly 30 years. Her appointment would last beyond Obama's presidential term.
Now, as I've said, the decision on who will succeed Ben is one of the most important economic decisions that I'll make as president, one of the most important appointments that any president can make, because the chair of the Fed is one of the most important policymakers in the world.
So how does one become the head of the Federal Reserve? In Yellen's case, it starts with a stellar education in economics from Brown University and a doctorate from Yale, along with teaching positions at Harvard, Berkeley, and the London School of Economics. With a year's experience as a Federal Reserve economist under her belt, Yellen went on to serve as a Fed board member in the mid-1990s and on the Clinton administration's White House Council of Economic Advisors. But it was Yellen's economic foresight that separated her as a leader in her field. She was one of the few economists to survey the economic climate and predict the 2008 housing crisis that sent the U.S. economy spiraling. In 2010, she became vice chair of the Federal Reserve, a role she admits has been challenging.
Especially recently, it's been a tremendous challenge for those of us on the FOMC to figure out what the right thing is to do. We've certainly had lively debates around this table.
Now she's poised to pick up where current Fed Chief Ben Bernanke leaves off at the end of January. But where exactly is that? Yellen is widely expected to continue the current course of bond buying, and her nomination appears to have eased uncertainties on Wall Street, at least for now. But some Republican critics are threatening to block her nomination, saying the Fed has become too powerful and needs more transparency. With Yellen's nomination likely to go forward, her biggest challenges will be tapering off the Fed's stimulus program that's been keeping interest rates low for businesses and consumers, and what to do with the $4 trillion worth of bonds on the Fed's balance sheet. Yellen has been relatively quiet in the last 3 years as vice chair of the Fed, so the confirmation hearings will give the public a front row seat to what she has in store. Rachelle Akuffo, CCTV in Washington.